What it do, y'all, man? I am on my grind one more time. Yeah. So I am almost done, man. Today, actually, here in just a little bit, I should be able to fire this thing up after I put some transmission fluid and do a couple other odds and ends here. Other than that, y'all, I mean, it's really almost done. I should have this thing done, totally done within the next couple days. So in my last video, you saw that I was starting the process of putting the transmission cooler in. Well, that is all done now. I don't know if you guys can see it. It might be a little dark, but it's all done. Lines are in. Everything's wired in. That right there is a fluid temperature sensor, so it cuts the fan on at 180 and then shuts it back off at 165. That is actually attached to the line that comes from the transmission, so it'll sense it at its hottest, and if it stays cool, then it just won't shut the fan on. So got that mounted there, so that's good. What else? AC is done, all installed. Everything is lined up, and this thing is sturdy now. I think part of my problem was with the other belt going bad and fraying and all that is I think this had a little bit of movement in it, side to side and front to back. I don't think it was very secure, and plus I don't really think it was lined up all the way. Also, I think another problem was that pulley that I had pushed out a little bit, so I corrected that. And obviously I changed that pulley. It's an F-body pulley, and I got it because it was a smaller in diameter, so it would help me make the belt fit. So I took this belt on and off and realigned that AC bracket because I thought that was the main culprit of it all, and turns to find out that it's this pulley, and I'm not sure why, but if you guys can see, so what I kept doing is bumping the starter and bumping the motor over just to kind of see. I would line the belt up and just to kind of see where the belt was kind of acting up and where it was coming off place. And as you can see right here, y'all, this belt is like right on the edge, and then you can kind of see it's kind of going at an angle. So it's in alignment back here, but the way the motor spins, it's basically bringing the belt to the front and then coming off. And then if you can see down here, right there, it's starting to come right over the lip of that crank, and that's not supposed to happen. So I took a video of me kind of bumping it because I wanted to see which way the crank turned and which way it turned and everything, and it seems to be coming from here, somewhere in this general area. I had the other belt hooked up without the AC, and with the other pulley, so I knew everything was working fine before I wanted to tie the AC back in with this belt. And when I took a straight edge, the pulley looked to be off a little bit anyway. When I took a straight edge like this on the edge of it here, hold on, if I can do this with two hands. All right, so there's a straight edge right there. So I have it on the pulley, and if you guys can see down here, look how much that pulley is off alignment from the balancer. That's crazy, man. And so I don't know what's up. I was like, man, did this bracket come loose, or did something happen, or whatnot? Did I not tighten something down, or is something not right? And so everything looks good. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my old pulley back on. Oh, another thing that I found out too is this tensioner was hitting the edge of this water pump neck. So every time I tried to, I put tension on the tensioner to get the belt under, it wouldn't allow me, it kept hitting the edge here, and it wouldn't allow me to get the full range of the tensioner, so I could slide the belt, over the pulley to put the pulley on. So that's why I was changing pulleys and bought that pulley and changed that pulley, but ended up being this was an issue too. I wasn't getting the full radius, using that tensioner to its full potential so I can that'll help get the belt on. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it kept hitting here. And then when I grinded this down just a little bit in the back of it, and then it gave me like another 2 inches of clearance. So all right, y'all, so I took the pulley off, and that was definitely the issue. So if you guys can see, if you can already tell how uneven it is. So that's the F-body pulley. Dorman part number 300-202. The regular stock truck pulley. If I put them here, as you can see, the leveler bubble is right there in the center. Look at that gap. Flush here, set back. Man. Sorry if it's not one thing, it's the other. So I put the truck pulley back in, lines up perfectly. That pretty much corrected it all. Plus, it ended up being this AC bracket was not fully aligned. When I came to kind of look at it, it was actually slightly back, just a hair. So I kind of put some washers in there. I don't know if you guys can see. So this is where it mounts up to the head back here. And I put like 3 washers where my finger's pointing. It's kind of dark, but basically I just put 2 washers to start, and then I wasn't happy with it, so I put a 3rd, and it bumped it just up enough where it is now aligned. And I had it running for a while, and everything looks perfect. Another thing too, I personally, so this AC bracket is off like a mid-90s Chevy Silverado S10, whatever. They use them in all kinds of cars for a long time. Cheap, yes, as far as saving money and doing a cheap AC conversion, so you don't have to buy the Dirty Dingo or the ICT Billet $200+ bracket. So that'll save you a lot of money, because I'm probably into it only about 30, maybe 40 bucks at the most. Time wise, if you don't want to battle with dealing with this, I would just go ahead and buy the Dirty Dingo or ICT Billet brackets or LS Simple or whatever, if you want to save the time. If I probably had to do it all over again and I had the money, I would probably just buy the brackets. But it does work, and it rode really good when I had it installed when I went to Texas and Vegas and all that. I think what happened was the AC bracket moved and it came out of alignment, and that's why the belt blew. Otherwise it probably would have, because the belt came off and ended up fraying. Otherwise I think it would have been okay. But since then I've corrected the issue. I've moved some brackets around, I've tightened them down, I've lined it up, and I also made one additional bracket that I think helps a ton, and it's this one right here. I have it mounted to the back of this tensioner, or basically the back of the bracket there, to the top of the water pump right there. right, YouTube fam, man, I am tired, man. I thought I was gonna be done a little sooner, but I had to do a couple other things, and then now I am officially 99% done. Finished installing this headlight. I actually fried a ballast when I was trying to hook up this side for my HIDs. I fried a ballast and does no longer work, so I actually ordered one. Luckily they're not that expensive. I found one for like 13 bucks shipped. Should be here this week, Thursday, but I do have the headlights in and they are working and functional. I'll turn them on here in a bit. The only thing is just that one won't work, but all the other ones will light up. Both lights turn on, and then I have that one on. Obviously that one's not on because I don't have the ballast for it. But once they warm up, they're pretty close, and they're slightly different bulbs, but I kind of like it because it distinguishes which one was originally the high beams and which one wasn't. But yeah, y'all, it looks pretty good. So these actually warm up faster than these, but once they warm up, they actually are pretty close in color. So I'm digging it, y'all. I'm digging it. Go. Oh, another thing too, as I installed trans temperature gauge, so that way this time I can monitor what the hell it's doing. But that's on my other gauges, my oil gauge and then my air fuel gauge. Oh, one other thing, let me go ahead and show you the halos. All of them on. Yeah, I'm happy with those. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this phone here. My girl's been, or get off the this video here. See, I can't even think right now, y'all. My girl's been kind of in there by herself, and so I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time with her, eat, probably take this to O'Reilly's, and then call it a night. So you guys know what to do, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Do all that good stuff, y'all. I'm out of here. I need a break from this car, and I'll holla. Deuces.